For the longest time, my anxiety was telling me that my existence wasn't justified, and let me get into that. So to begin, the way I realized this was through something called unconscious exploration. This largely looks like things like meditation, spending lots of time alone in nature, and dream journaling, things like that. The overall goal is to understand what my unconscious is trying to tell me. And when it came to anxiety, I was really trying to cue in on where my discomfort was coming from. And one of the things that came up often was I felt like my existence wasn't justified. And a lot of the actions I was taking through my anxiety were to justify my existence. For example, one of the biggest things I used to do is just put all these responsibilities in front of me. And for some reason, I think one, it was a distraction. I think I really liked the distraction of just getting stuff done. But two, it was a way for me to feel justified in my existence. The difficulty with this, though, is these actions weren't satisfying my soul, and they certainly weren't getting rid of my anxiety. In fact, I could argue that they were only making my anxiety worse, because the more responsibilities I would take on, the more it would tend to pile up, and I would have my plate overload. I'd end up burning out. So when I realized that I was acting out in this way, largely as a means to justify my own existence, I realized the core of the problem was really how I talked to myself on an unconscious level. And how I was talking to myself was I was unworthy of life in general, honestly. And that sense of unworthiness is what resulted in my behavior. So I had to start telling myself repeatedly that my existence was justified. I do deserve to be here. I am okay just the way I am. I don't need to take on large amounts of responsibility just to justify my existence. I have to repeat these things over and over again. I still do this too. While I've certainly made a lot of progress, it's something that's an ongoing battle, and it runs deep within me, and I won't get into the personals. I just realized I came from a very specific part of my childhood, as I imagine your anxiety also comes from. But what I'm trying to get at here is, we develop these rituals to try to satisfy our anxiety, to try to tame it. But at the end of the day, these rituals are not helping us. What will help us is redirecting the dialogue that's happening within our brains.